Hello, so did you get some rest and perhaps some more sleep or better sleep after the previous video? Well, it'd be great if you did, but I didn't tell you some of the things that I've learned about how to ensure that we get better sleep. So that's what this video is all about. Firstly, did you know if you fall asleep very quickly when you get to bed, like within 5 to 10 minutes, that's a really telling sign that you're sleep deprived. I know, right? That's been me. So falling asleep is a process that usually takes longer than that. So yeah, if that's you, then hopefully this will be useful. So in the previous video, I talked about a whole bunch of things that affect our sleep negatively. So now let's talk about some things that we can do to positively affect our sleep and ensure that we get into good sleeping patterns, because actually a lot of it is about building habits. You might have heard of circadian rhythms. I can't even pronounce that properly, but you get what I mean, hopefully. So habits are important because we have a rhythm. Our rhythms might change with seasons, etc., but still, there's a rhythm there. And I'm going to share some of the big significant things that I've learned. It's certainly not everything, but I can't share everything. But here's some of the main pointers. So in terms of sleep habits, get into a habit of keeping your bedtime and your wake up time the same. If you can't keep your bedtime the same, actually the more important thing is your wake up time, because that helps reset the circadian rhythm. Okay, I did a little bit better this time, I think. So that's a big one. So if anything, just keep your wake up time the same. If you want to sleep in at times, actually try to limit that maybe to 1 day a week, like on a Saturday morning. And also if you sleep in, don't sleep in too long. We're talking, so if I remember correctly, up to about 90 minutes. Then that doesn't sort of screw with our rhythm too much. The other thing is actually about routines before bed. And I'll touch on this in a moment, but just sort of flag this notion of a power down hour, which involves a few things, and it doesn't have to be exactly an hour, so I'll get back to that in a second. The other thing, I talked about caffeine, which blocks adenosine and suppresses melatonin. So, gosh, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things here, but let's just keep it simple. No caffeine after 2 p.m. because caffeine has, the effect in you is very long lasting. And alcohol, there's a couple of things there. So general tips: try to stop having alcohol, a few hours before bedtime. When you drink alcohol, maybe mix, 1 drink of alcohol with then 1 glass of water. That will help your body a lot. Let's see what else. Meals and exercise. So eating, hopefully healthily. I talked about nutrition already. But also we don't want to go to bed full. I don't want to go to bed hungry either, because both things will affect our sleep. So try to have your last big meal maybe 3 hours before bedtime. If you are hungry before bedtime, have a light snack. I mean, that could be something like a piece of an apple with peanut butter. That's one that I took away from the course that I did. It actually works quite well. And exercise. So I've talked about the importance of moving your body and everything, and I've alluded back then to the importance on sleep as well. General research that I come across suggests that exercising in the morning is beneficial for sleep, or the most beneficial for sleep. But actually, the sleep doctor, Michael Breus, does talk about this in greater depth, and it depends a bit on who you are as a person and what you want to achieve as well throughout the day, and what type of exercise that you do. So those were the main points. So the power down hour, whether you keep that 60 minutes or not, if time is an issue, maybe reduce it to 40 minutes. But if we take 60 minutes, the first 20 minutes, you can leave that time to do stuff that would cause stress for you in the morning. So that's about stress reduction. The next 20 minutes is mainly about hygiene, so brushing your teeth, etc. This might be a good time to have a hot bath as well, which helps us with sleep. The last 20 minutes is really about relaxation. So this is helping with the big point in the previous video about stress. And the relaxation could be in the form of breathing exercises, maybe some stretching as well. I've talked about breathing in my first video, so it keeps coming back. And I want to give you 2 breathing techniques. One is called box breathing. How long you do this, and actually the next technique as well, just there's no set duration, like I say, but the pattern that you would repeat for box breathing is that you inhale for a count of 4, you hold your breath for a count of 4, you exhale for a count of 4, you hold your breath again after the exhale for a count of 4, then inhale, etc. So you kind of see it as you inhale, hold breath, exhale, hold breath, inhale, hold breath, exhale, hold breath. So that's the box breathing. And everything is on a count of 4. The other breathing technique is called, well, doesn't have such an eloquent name. It's 4-7-8. Apparently this is something that comes from Navy SEALs, a technique used by snipers, for example, to stay still, focused, etc. So you breathe in for a count of 4, you hold your breath for a count of 7, and then you exhale for a count of 8. And then the purpose here is to exhale fully, so you get all, the air out of your lungs with CO2, etc. And then you repeat. So you inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8 again. So see how those things work out for you. Wishing you sweet dreams.